struggle sometimes with money and your children? Does it feel like you are constantly a cash machine for your kids whenever there's something that they want? In this short vlog today, I'm going to cover how you can actually use the summer holidays to financially educate your children in a really simple way. Nothing overthought, just something very simple that you can incorporate to your daily routine. My name is Katrina Ellis from the Financial Wellness Academy, educating and empowering you to master your money regardless of the circumstances you're currently in. So, summer holidays are upon us, and we are wondering as to how we can entertain our kids for the weeks that stretch out in front of us. One thing that you can actually use this holiday time for, whether it's summers or otherwise, is really to start to financially educate your kids. Unfortunately, this is something that's not going to happen in school. So I think it's really incumbent upon us parents to take that mantle and to start to do that. And this can be done in some very simple ways. 3 steps is what I'm going to share with you today. So the first one really is you modeling what that looks like. And that can be challenging sometimes. And that is not to say that we always get it right, myself included. I regularly make mistakes in this. And I think that's part of it, is to show that that's okay. It's human to make bad decisions. It's human to get things wrong. It's human to, take a step in the right direction and find that actually it's actually put us 3 steps backwards. And that's all okay. So that is what a regular, relatable version of financial wellness looks like. It can have good sides and bad sides. So it's about showing your kids what that looks like. And that is can look anything from maybe be more conscious with your spending. So instead of when the requests come in for money, that you don't just hand out the cash, that you have a conversation around it. And that leads into my second step, is to talk to them about money. So rather than to brush it under the carpet and to avoid awkwardness, just keep handing out that money, to actually talk to them about it, to explain to them the idea that you have a budget for summer, for this week, or whatever it is, however you manage it, and that you giving this money to them for this particular request will mean that you can't do something else that you want to do. And so you are almost explaining to them your thought process as to whether you can give them this money or you want to give them this money or not. So the first step, like I said, it's modeling. Second is actually speaking, communicating with them. The third step is around creating some boundaries around us. And this all kind of works together. So if we have fallen into the habit of just shelling out money whenever they request, and maybe because we're working, we don't see them as much as we'd like to, there's an element of guilt in there. And instead of addressing that emotion, how we feel about it, we'll just throw some cash at it and hope that giving them the money helps deal with that. But the reality is that it won't essentially address what's going on at the core for us or for them. And they then become used to you shelling that money out. And if at any point in the future you stop that, then there will be highly likely that there will be some aggro with that. So boundaries around money leads into the other two, of speaking to them about it, of you modeling it, of understanding that you have boundaries for your money. You have a budget for your different elements in your household, for food, for your bills, etc. And you also have a budget perhaps for your holiday expenses. And maybe if you don't have that right now, maybe it's worth giving some thought to that. And I did speak in an earlier video on the summer theme about figuring out what those numbers are and how to work those out very simply. And it's about writing a list of the things that you'd like to do, costing those, and then figuring out what that amount is. And so if unexpected things pop up, then you have a decision to make, whether you cut something on the list that you budgeted for or whether you find another way to fund it. And that becomes a great model to your kids as well, when you show them that, I don't actually have money in the budget for this, so I can either cut something else back or I can find a way to generate the cash. And sometimes they can really enjoy themselves by becoming involved in this process. So my kids love to do this. When I say to them, I don't have, that's a need, that's a want versus a need, they then will come to me with solutions as to how they can generate the cash that they want. So it becomes a great model that you're modeling for yourself. It then is amazingly absorbed by them, and you are educating them. So the summer presents an amazing opportunity for you to start to do this in a really open, transformative way. And start that conversation, because for in many houses it will be a taboo subject. You won't have discussed it before. You would think it's not age appropriate, but it is very helpful to kids as they go through later years to understand how an adult does money in a good way. And if you're the person who's modeling that to them, then great. If you're the person who's modeling running stuff up on credit card without even thinking about it, then stressing about the bills and overstretching yourself financially, energetically, every which way, then that is the model that they have. And it is very easy for them to follow that as opposed to have to learn a new model. So summer presents an amazing opportunity to you. Take that opportunity to have these conversations, be that model for your kids, and really enjoy the experience and watch what unfolds. It is magical when you start to see them repeat your actions, repeat the conversations that you've had with them, with their friends. And it's just an amazing gift to be able to give your children. And it's not something that costs you any money. It's something that costs you time and energy, but it is something that you will leave them for a lifetime and that they can pass on, because none of us were given that gift in our education system. So hopefully we can change the tide on this and take some time this summer to really start the conversation with your children. So hope this was helpful to you. Any topics that you would like me to cover at any stage, just let me know in the comments below, and we'll see you soon. Thanks for watching.